The show is brought to you by RUTUS Metal Detectors, makers of the Alter 71. Discover new possibilities at rutus.com.pl.
Let's dig it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is correct. You are not mistaken. My name is Lance Goolsby, coming to you live again for the third week in a row from the GDA. There is another studios in Germany, and I've got a really great show today. I cannot wait to get into this one. I just want to let you guys know that GDA and Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine are currently having a RUTUS giveaway. So we got caps, flashlights, pens, and other stuff coming to give away. All you have to do is on the chat box here, all you have to do is use the hashtag Alter71 on the chat box right here, wherever you're listening to this podcast. And the feed, we will be doing the draw live on the ArchMD Mag Facebook page. So you'll be able to find all that information right over there. Make sure you head on over there and make sure you guys share with everybody you know the link to this. Send the link to this podcast. Make sure everybody gets a chance to get in this. Just as a rehash in order to be entered into the drawing, you need to use the hashtag Alter71 right in the chat box where you're listening to this podcast. If you can't figure it out, I'm sure somebody can show it to you. It should be right there. Pretty simple to do. All right, so first off, this is going to be a great show. 42 can't be with us again. She will be on the next show. We're doing some stuff to get her back into the show. So keep your pants on. She's coming in. I love 42. I can't wait to get her back into the show. Been missing her over the last couple weeks and really need to get her in here. She has a better voice than I do and doesn't drown on quite so much. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, GDA is no longer Global Detection Adventures. I know it hasn't changed everywhere. We're Global Discovery Adventures. So make sure you let everybody know that we have changed. We are rebranded, and we're trying to reach out to a lot more people. Now, as an introduction, I've been metal detecting. I've been using quite a few devices myself. I am currently using the RUTUS Alter 71. It is right now my weapon of choice. This is the metal detector that I'm going to swear by at the moment because it is a great machine. I cannot express it enough. First of all, let me talk to you about the RUTUS. The RUTUS metal detectors were designed by Eric Rutina. I'm sorry, Eric. I know you're listening right now. I probably just butchered your last name. I'm so sorry about that. He's a detector as first and foremost with over 30 years of experience in the hobby. RUTUS is a small company. They only have 4 employees. That's how small this company is. Eric was introduced into the hobby in the 1980s by his father. He made his first metal detector at the age of 15, and it was a simple BFO model which rarely worked properly. But over the time, Eric's passion for exploring in electronics allowed him to develop better and better machines, each one improving on the last. Over many years, these improvements led to design and development of the current flagship model, the Alter 71. The Alter is one of, if not the most flexible, detector on the market with the ability to adjust a choice of 71 frequencies. It also works in dual mode, a mixture of both motion and non-motion. By combining the two modes, the detector is able to give a more vivid picture of what lies beneath our feet, making things Many things make the Alter 71 unique. The ability to create your own tones and the fact that the VDI has a larger range than most detectors from 0 to 120, giving a wider range to separate tones, giving amazing accuracy with the VDI information. And even with all these unique functions, the ability of the Alter 71 retails at a very low price in comparison to the other machines of similar or lesser capabilities. And believe me, this is a wonderful show. A wonderful metal detector. I've been using it. I've only been able to use it about 5 times with my injuries last year, but it is a great machine. And in order to talk about this machine and get basically everything that I just read to you right there at the beginning, what we're going to do is we have a very special guest coming in, Tony Cawood. He's going to be talking about this, and he could probably put everything that I just said into more of a layman's terms. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, like what do you mean by to adjust a choice of 71 frequencies? What does it mean by creating, giving each assigning your own tones to a certain VDI number, and exactly what does 121 range of the VDIs, what exactly does that mean for the detector itself? So our guest today is a RUTUS user and probably one of the foremost guys besides my good friend Eric and Viola. And so I want to go ahead and introduce him right off the bat. Our guest today is Tony Cawood, like I said. Tony, are you there?
I am indeed, Lance. Good evening.
Well, good evening. I'm glad he could make it into the show. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long have you been in the hobby?
Okay. So I've been in the hobby just shy of 2 years now.
Oh, really?
I'm so relative newbie, and I'm one of the newer detectorists that have probably been spawned from the UK Compo the Detectorists.
Oh, okay.
So I got into that show. I'd always had an interest in history. Used to go bottle digging when I was a sort of 10, 11-year-old, and thought, I'll give that a go. Why not? 2 years down the line, I am out every weekend swinging my RUTUS and enjoying digging up history left, right, and centre.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it was a TV show that actually got me into it as well. Out of the United States, they had a show called Diggers, and that's the one that got me into this. And so, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that reaches out to a large audience, and we see it happening, and we go, wait, I could do that as well. And is that basically how it went with you as well?
Yeah, a little bit. My other hobby is I write screenplays. So I started watching the Detectorists, which is a comedy show. It's not a factual show. Yeah. Because it was so well written. It's very funny if you've never seen it. It's a very British sense of humour. Yeah. It is very funny.
It is.
And I just thought I see myself in them, and I could have a go at that. And I think somebody had just given me like a bunch of Amazon vouchers for birthday or something like that. And I thought, rather than fritter them away, I'll get a basic detector, see if I like it, because I've got no history in outdoors. I know no farmers. I don't go hiking. I'm not like Luke who goes wild camping and things like that. Literally a proper city boy. So I'm like, I have no idea if I'm going to like this. And I think I was smitten after I did my first whirly.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, city boy going out and metal detecting. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, a lot of people aren't like Luke, so I'm just put that out there on the table. Now, just a reminder, I know a lot of people are just joining in. We are having a RUTUS giveaway today. So we have caps, flashlights, or as you British people call them torches and pens. Now, this is only available for the UK fans, so please make sure just keep it in the UK. If you want to enter into the drawing, all you have to do is in the comment section where you're listening to this, use the hashtag Alter71. Put that in there. Later on today on the ArchMD Mag Facebook page, there will be a drawing for the winner, so you can check that out later on this evening. Now, one of the things that I kind of want to do is, the frequencies. The frequencies of the detector. Now, there are 71 frequencies, and now it says in the write-up that we have the ability to adjust a choice of 71 frequencies. How does that allow the user to adjust a choice of frequencies, and exactly what does that kind of mean? Is it just that it allows the user to avoid interference from other machines or fences? What exactly is this?
Well, I guess you could avoid inter-machine interference when you're too close, but that's not its primary function. So the frequencies range from, I'll get this wrong, but it's down in the lower range of 4 point something up to 18 point something, and then go up in 200 increments. So I guess at a very basic level, the lower the frequencies are usually used for detecting larger objects, and as you go further up, smaller, thinner objects. So if you're a coin hunter, if you're on a field that you think has got hammered coins on, you'd be pushing to the top of that range in general, which is why when you look at the pre-programmed programs on the RUTUS, the sort of they step up and they increase as they go along, sort of to ultra fast. They allow for better sort of identification, smaller things the higher up you go. So you've got, I don't think there's a machine like it in terms of the choices, and clearly people will be able to select the frequencies to suit their own needs, to suit the circumstance of the dig they're on, the ground that they're with, or you can just use it out of the box with the pre-programmed.
That was one of the things I really liked about it. This is a machine that is extremely versatile. Basically, you can really program it to the way you metal detect. I can't express that enough. It is completely programmable to the way you metal detect. If you don't like how something's set up, go in, change it. You can do whatever you need to. Now, Luke said basically for thick people like Dave, this is a machine that he could just pick up and use as well. And he does. Dave Sadler.
And I think, I think it's one of those things, because it was so when I bought my first machine from Amazon, it was a relatively cheap Chinese copy of something or other, but it worked and it got me hooked.
Yep.
And I think I had it about 6 weeks before I upgraded to a proper detector.
Uh-huh.
And the RUTUS was the proper detector that I upgraded to after agonising over what appeared to be a choice of 100 different types of detectors.
Yeah.
It can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, definitely.
And the one thing that really sold it for me was the fact that out of the box it had 7 programs that I could just start with, basic coins, etc. But then it had the potential for me to tweak, well, literally everything as I got more experience with the machine and as a detectorist. So it was like both a basic machine, out of the box, crack on, and also it had the scope to grow with me as I got more experience and more knowledgeable in the hobby, which is, still the case now. I'm still learning, I'm still tweaking with the machine, finding new features, and of course when you get new software coming out, then you get a whole new range of things to play with as well. So it's like having a toy that keeps growing.
It definitely is. It definitely is. You basically talked about that. Now we'll kind of get down to the updates and stuff that you kind of hinted at right there later on. Now, when you pull it out, what are some of the functions? Can we start running through some of the menu functions and discuss exactly what it has that would probably be of the most interest to the people looking at purchasing this or who have it and might not know exactly what the menu functions are?
Yeah, so I think as we've said, out of the box, you've got 7 programs going from so looking for larger objects at the bottom end, which I think is more for some of the European users who look for sort of military relics and things like that. Tends to be the case. Up to I think ultra fast for trashy sites, and we're looking for small objects like coins and hammered coins and things like that. So it's ideally suited for, I guess, the whole European spectrum. And by definition, America, US, Australia, etc. It's very flexible from that point of view.
Oh yeah.
And in the version 2 software, in addition to that, you've also got 4 user programmable slots as well. So you can in essence build your own program and save it there, which is a development from the last software, which allowed you to change anything, but you had to use one of the existing slots. So if you used coins and tweaked it, you'd have to reset it to coins if you wanted to go back to the basic coins.
Yeah.
Whereas this way around, you can have all the 7 set exactly as they are in the factory mode, and then have your own 4 versions for whatever you want, which I think is an excellent feature to have, because you can have it programmed by the land you go on or the weather, whatever you want, really.
Yeah, that again, we'll get to the version 2 later on as well. That was one of the things that I did notice, that I did kind of change one of the settings of mine. I just overwrote one of the ones. I took basically what they had set up and just adjusted it slightly for me to use it better in the fields where I'm at in Germany. I know it's going to be different in Poland, where these are created, to Germany here, to the UK. And I know people, if they would be able to pick these things up and use them in the US and in Australia, which I'm going to see if I can get one sent down to 42 to use, either her or one of her friends. To definitely check that out down there, especially in the gold fields down there. See exactly how that would work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, frequencies. Now, I was talking about, when we actually do the frequencies, we can actually assign tones. Pardon me, I didn't mean frequencies. I meant tones. Oh, man, what am I talking about? But we have the ability with the Alter 71 to assign tones to specific VDAs. Now, a lot of people don't know exactly how this would benefit them. Can you explain exactly how adjusting the notches, the tones by notch, can actually help them look for very specific things?
Yeah, so as you said, because the RUTUS Alter 71 is so programmable, that extends as far as the tones. So you get some 6, I think, set tones, coins 1, 2, 3, and relics 1, 2, 3. Then you've got user ones that you can go in and alter. So let's say, for example, and I've never found this works this way, I find ring pulls of all numbers, but let's say you find ring pulls are always showing up at 80 on your VDI, and you could set a specific tone, high-low, to your own preference, to 80, to always tell you that 80 is being hit, and therefore, based on your experience, it's always going to be a ring pull.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that's very simplistic, because it's never always a ring pull, but if you wanted to detect that way, and I guess in certain circumstances it would suit, you could definitely use the specific tones to exclude or include what it is you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I want you to realize, at least the listeners, to realize that because it has a much larger range on the VDI from 0 to 120, the target ranges or the target sounds that you adjust the sound to is a much more direct. The lower the number, the wider the range that tone will cover. The wider, the higher the number, we can actually assign down. So that ring pull might come up as an 80, 81, but a I don't know, you could say that a silver coin, like one of the hammered silver coins over here, might come up as a 79 or 80. We can adjust it where the 81 will never go off or has a very low tone, but the 80 has a very high tone, and then adjust it from there.
And with the version 2 software, you can actually select to have a 180 point VDI range as well, because it's got, I don't use it because I'm used to 120. I've played with the 180, so you've got even more specificity within the tones and the VDI if you want to use it that way around.
That is incredible. We're gonna have to talk about this here in a little bit. Now, dual mode. A lot of people aren't understanding exactly how this dual mode works or even what it is. Can you let us know what the dual mode is and how it works?
Yeah, so this is one of those features that I think most people, especially beginners, will probably not use until they get more experience. Probably useful to understand the other programs first a little bit. But so my understanding of dual mode is I get the benefit of motion and discrimination, normal mode, but also with the all metal. So the more old-fashioned but deep LA mode come to one program, so I can hear deeper targets and choose or not. Even if I can't see them coming up on the VDI, it gives me additional information. I sort of think of it, I run in dual mode almost all the time. I sort of see it as like 3D effect, where you've already got your existing tones, VI, and the holograph line, whatever you want to call it. But then you've got all metal underneath, giving you clues about potential targets that may not be coming up that you might want to investigate. And again, depending on the area, depending on what you're doing, I think it just gives you that additional piece of information. It's like you've got 4 pieces of information coming at once.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a really quick break. I'm going to call you back again, Tony. Sounds like we've got a pretty choppy connection. We'll go ahead and do the break real quick, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Tony Cawood. But until then, we'll be right back.
Is it possible that you're on the market for a brand new metal detector? Or you got a metal detector, but you want to look for something that's better or has more compatibility with the way that you metal detect? Well, let me tell you about the RUTUS Alter 71. Check it out at rutus.com.pl. The RUTUS Alter 71 has 71 frequencies to choose from. Yes, I actually just said that. 71 frequencies. It also has the ability, let's say that you're out metal detecting, you want to make sure that certain objects create a certain sound. You can assign certain VDI numbers a certain sound. That is amazing. A fully customizable metal detector that is a mid-range device. We're not talking a upper price level machine. We're talking a mid-level machine here that has high quality functionality. This is not the typical mid-level machine. This thing has 71 frequencies, like I just said. That's why it has the name Alter 71. It also has a dual mode. The dual mode allows you to more easily discriminate between objects that are in the ground. You'd only need one detector for large and small objects. The 8 reaction levels, yes, 8 reaction levels, and the dual mode helps you better identify good targets above or below crap targets. Yes, I just said that. This is one of the most amazing machines that you can get for this price range. You do not need to know anything about these high quality machines or any of these high speed machines. You can almost jump right into the Alter 71 and get going. And if you have questions, check it out online. Check it out on YouTube. You can find everything right there. I'm a dummy. I'm a complete dummy. And I can metal detect with this thing. And that should say something. Imagine having a machine that has motion discrimination. Yes, motion discrimination. You swing over an object and there's two things on the ground, but as you're swinging, it accurately discriminates between the two objects. Iron, silver, iron, silver, iron, silver. It is that amazing. So make sure you go to rutus.com.pl. That's rutus.com.pl and check out this great machine. You will love it. All right, guys, let's get on with the show.
All right, so we got Tony back in. Sorry about that, Tony. It was getting a little choppy there for a bit. I wanted to make sure that everybody got really good audio on this. Yeah. So where we were at, we were just talking about how the dual mode worked. So now the Alter 71. One of the other things that I noticed, it has a very unique ground balance. Can we kind of go over this real quick and discuss?
Yeah. So another addition to the new software is a ground balance that has, I guess it's I call it tiered ground balance. So you have straight OK, you have probably OK, which is denoted by a question mark. You've got likely OK by a single exclamation mark, and then varying degrees of it's worse. You probably really do need to ground balance it again, which is obviously demonstrated shown within the new manual, but what it does is give a lot more information around the ground balance than a normal detector, which is usually just a yes or no type of affair.
Yeah, and now we can kind of segue right into the version 2. Now, you've been using the version 2 for how long now? I'm talking about the software that goes into the RUTUS. You've been using the version 2 now for how long?
A little before it was released. So whenever it was released, I think I had it a few weeks before. Doing some sort of additional testing of it and having a look around the new software and doing some videos. So I think it was December time. So
okay,
coming up to 6 months now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, exactly what does the version 2 offer that the version 1 doesn't have?
So the changes or additional pieces, if I run through them, all is probably easier. So as we've just touched on, it's got a new ground balance system. So we just touched on the tiered ground balance. That's new for version 2. The 4 user-definable programs are also a version 2 feature, so you can now save 4 programs yourself and have them ready and not have to worry about changing the default settings on the normal programs. Also touched on the ID scale. So the ID scale for the RUTUS is 120 points.
Yeah.
But you can now flip it into 180 point scale, which is minus 90 to plus 90. I think that's useful for some other users of different detectors who are used to 180 scale. I think RUTUS themselves have had that scale in other detectors, so you can use that. I think on a couple of my videos I've demoed the use of that, so people can see how it works.
That's super.
And then on the global settings have been changed, so the global settings are now backlight, wireless, discrimination, sensitivity, notch, and volume. So they don't change by program. They're global. You change it in one program, it changes in the others.
Okay.
You have iron volume, which is new, so that you can hear the sort of iron tones in the discriminated out in the discrimination range that you have. Which is useful if you're looking to avoid more iron. The languages have changed, so there are more languages, that I assume is a testament to RUTUS's growing global reputation.
Yeah.
They've had to put additional languages in for more people. And then ID gain as well. So ID gain, so if you notice, if you're running non-V2 software, you'll occasionally get a signal, and you'll occasionally get a line appear on the screen, but it won't give you a number for it.
I've had that,
Yeah. In essence, the detector's not entirely sure what it is. He knows there's something there, but he's not entirely sure. In version 2, you can switch on ID gain, which is an optional feature. You can use it or not. And what it will do is give you a best guess. So instead of leaving blank VDI, it'll give you a best guess VDI.
Oh,
Which may be enough to convince you whether or not to dig. It's usually for deeper, scratchier signals that it's not sure about. But it's quite an interesting feature.
Yeah, that's actually really good, because the one thing that I was doing, I was digging up all those signals, but it ended up in my case just always being Coke, and so it's just it was not a great situation. So being able to have that VDI number kind of pop up, even if it's a best guess, would definitely help me out a lot. Now, there's been a slight change. The draw for the RUTUS giveaway, like I said, we will be giving away caps, torches, and pens to any of the members listening right now or on the download. That's going to be available immediately after. Make sure you use the hashtag alter71 on the chat box right where you're watching or listening to this on. The drawing will be on Saturday at 8 o'clock on the 20th of April. So make sure you head on over to the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Facebook page, and you'll be able to find out who wins this giveaway. But like I said, it's only available for members in the UK. There will be another giveaway in a week for members in Europe, and there's more great RUTUS stuff that's going to be given away, and there's going to be 2 winners on that one, so make sure you check it out. All right, so we were talking about the updates. Now, the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is getting the 180 tones, the 180 VDIs. That sounds really, really helpful for me over here in mainland Europe, where most of the fields have been plowed with steel and everything else for the last 2,000 years. This might be something that the United States is not used to. England, I'm sure, is much the same way. So there are a lot of iron targets in there, and being able to turn off the iron tones and keep going, looking for those really good relics in between them, is something that I really do look forward to.
Yeah, and for those who have seen my YouTube channel and those who haven't, it's TC Detects, and I did do a walkthrough the new features on one of the videos, be around January time, I think. So it's a walk through the new menu system, what I do, and then for the next couple of hunt videos after that, I also went through showing some of them live in the field as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was one of the things. Now that's TC Detects. That's DETECTS, or is there a funky way to spell detects?
No, TC Detects, okay. All one word.
Okay. Just making sure.
No funky words for spelling it.
Yeah, just making sure. A lot of people spell it with an X or something else.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Normal English spelling. I like that.
Yeah, got a frog in my throat today. The balance, the machine itself. Let's just kind of go into the machine itself. A lot of people, I know that they go to the XP Deus because it has a 2.1 pound weight. It's a very light machine. And then other people complain about the CTX 3030 as being a little bit too bulky, too heavy to carry around. Where would you place the Alter 71 in a range of weights, basically?
Well, I mean, my comparisons are relatively limited, but I've held most of the other machines, so it's not quite as light as a Deus or an Equinox or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not far away. My backup machine is an Equinox 600. And I've not found it more difficult to swing with the RUTUS. I don't find it particularly heavy. It's not in a 30-30 type of range. It's well balanced as well. So I've not. My normal dig will be, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. I've never had a problem. When I've done longer full days, rallies, those sort of things, some for 8 or 9 hours, again, still no problems. And I'll throw myself under the bus here. I'm not a young man. I'm nearly 50, so I don't have any issues with it from a back or shoulder point of view. I have a harness that I've never yet needed to use. So I think from a weight point of view, it's pretty damn good, to be honest.
Yeah, you and I are in the same. I think we're right around the same age. I just got a couple years extra on you.
The best age.
Yeah, I agree too. It's perfectly ripe. That's that apple that you want to get from the store. But I think I just got about 2 years on you on metal detecting. I'm pretty new to this as well, but this is a hobby that I was able to get into extremely well. And like you say, I've got other metal detectors as well. I did as well start off. My very first was a Chinese knockoff of the Garrett Ace 150 or one of those. I can't remember. I think it was the Ace 100 or 110 something. Just the cheapest thing that you could find. It had the worst pinpointing function that's ever been. I could never find the item. Luckily, I might be able to dig it up first try. And it only found targets when it wanted to, but it was enough to get me into it. I did move into other machines like the Thesaurus Ebola was my next one, then the XP Deus, but the Alter 71 is the one that I really truly fell in love with. I do love all my machines. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love them all, but I just find that the Alter 71 has a much greater personality. I love it. My French Maiden is always there. It's in the car, but she's become my backup one. That would be the Deus, but this one has become my workhorse. It is getting me through these fields. It is hammering down on I can't believe it, but musket balls it's like a bloodhound with musket balls. I'm loving this machine, and like you said, I'm 48 years old, got knee problems, got back problems, but I can still swing this thing 4 or 6 hours a day.
Yeah, me too. And I often, not always, I didn't today, for example, but I often swing with the Mars Goliath coil attached to it as well, which increases the weight even further. It's a bigger coil, obviously. But even with that as a package, I still find it easy to swing for an entire day without any issues.
Yeah, we'll kind of go into coils here in a second as well, because that's a good point to bring up the coils, because I do have quite a few as well. Now, the balance on this thing, it uses 6 AA batteries. I do use rechargeables, and I always keep about 12 AA's in the car as backups, because I'm a dunce and I do forget to recharge my batteries quite a bit. But
I think you might have overdone it there. That might be too many batteries.
It is. I mean, it does not use a lot of batteries. I would charge the rechargeables once, and I used them 4 times. It was on the 5th time that I went out that I put in regular batteries, but they still weren't completely empty. I just did it because I didn't want to have to change them out on the field.
He does seem particularly efficient with the batteries.
Yeah,
I've got 2 sets of rechargeables, one in the machine and the other in my finds bag, just in case. I don't think I've ever got to the point of needing the backups. He's never run out in the field. I don't think that's ever happened, but they're there if they're needed. Yeah,
definitely. And like I was saying, the batteries lasted about 20 hours of total use. So that's a very good amount of time. Now, other functions of the metal detector itself, of the Alter 71, it is a coiled detector, which means that we have the ability to get a wide range of coils for the detector. Now, one of my favorites is the 23 centimeter double D. Really beautiful. Yeah, beautiful coil. I'm loving it. I also have the double C as well, I believe. And then
The Constrict. Yeah.
yeah, and then I have the I think it's a 6-inch sniper that I have as well.
Yep.
Now, which ones you said you were using a Goliath as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a Mars coil. So Mars, I think, have got 3 coils for the RUTUS. RUTUS themselves have got 4, I think. Well, might kill me if I get that wrong. I think that's right for RUTUS, and I think Mars do 1 or 2 as well. So there's a great range of coils available, both from RUTUS themselves and from other manufacturers. I think the Goliath coil from Mars is the only one that I've got that isn't from RUTUS themselves, but it's great for coverage because it's so big. It's great for large fields and depth, so I tend to use that fairly frequently. But my other coil of choice would be the 23cm Double D, which is the latest one RUTUS put out.
Yeah, that's the one. I did have a faulty one that I had, but they were gracious enough to send me a replacement. I love it. That's the one that I'm always using out on the fields. This thing, it sounds like, it might be kind of big, but I'm in big open fields that have been plowed, so I need to get a little bit extra depth in there, and I have found items at about 15 inches deep with this coil. But you
Impressive.
it really was. It was a large chunk of iron, but it was still quite deep. But you might be getting me sold on this Goliath coil. I might be using that one next time.
Well, I was lucky at Christmas to get a relatively large permission. I didn't realise how large when I got it until I looked at the maps, and I got access to one of the fields for the last couple of months, and the field itself was like, I don't know, 30, 40 acres, and looking at it, I'm like, how am I ever going to cover this? And I thought, well, if I try with the Goliath, at least it'll be a little bit speedier, and the only issue I found with the Goliath is pinpointing has a sort of special technique because of the size of the bloody coil.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a very good coil for coverage. The 23cm is brilliant, and I've got a few permissions where I know there's footpath and things like that, where I know there's likely to be coins, where I'd definitely choose that as a preference because it's proven itself to find things that other coils have missed as well. So an absolutely great coin shooting coil.
Yeah, that's what I use it for over here mostly. I mean, I am a relic hunter, and I do love finding those coins as well. But the 23 Double D really does help. Basically, you get a pretty good footprint with it while you're going through the fields, and it does really quickly react to anything underneath it. It's not, even with the size of that coil, it is not a slow signal. It does not hold that tone for a while. I found a coin in between, like a piece of, I think it was a nail and a bolt from a tractor, and it was able to differentiate really quick between the 3 as well. It's a really great, really fast machine. I need people to understand that it is a super fast machine. Now,
I think that coil as well in particular is I don't know if it's designed to be better for coins on their side or something, or it's just good at coins on their side, but I have a permission hill farm that's got a footpath that runs right across the middle of a field, and it used to go to an old pub, an old public house. It isn't there anymore, but drunk people lose coins.
Yes.
And I thought I'd got every coin out of this footpath that could be. I'd done it with a normal RUTUS coil. I'd done it with my Equinox 600. I did it with a 23cm coil, the Double D one, and it was like it was a new footpath. I think I got as many coins out of it in one session as I had in the previous 3 sessions, including more silver. I couldn't quite believe how it was finding things on a relatively small piece of land I'd already been over multiple times.
Yeah, I had that same thing with as well. But it's not only coins that drunk people lose. Believe me, I lost a lot of paper money as well.
Yeah, the detector's not as good paper money though.
Yeah, Robert, the RUTUS Alter 71 has a super fast target reaction. Like I said, just within, I'd say, about 3 inches of each other, there was a small 1 centimeter silver coin. I'm actually sitting right next to it right here. And there were two, a piece of nail, and I believe it was a bolt, a sheared off bolt from a tractor. And it was able to give me all 3 signals as I swung over. I got the low tone, the high tone, the low tone. It was a super fast reactivity to it. This I've only seen reactivity this good in one other machine, and that's the Deus. But honestly, I think the Alter 71 might be slightly faster on the reactivity.
Well, there was a famous, or relatively famous, video that came out after Detectival when they launched the Equinox 800 of a sort of reactivity test running over, I think, 8 coins or something like that, and hearing it go beep, 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 beep. And I've done the same with the RUTUS, and it does exactly the same, if not better. It's just that it's lightning fast. You don't, you lose nothing because it's so quick. It's you're never going to miss a target from that point of view.
No, and I honestly have not had. Now, another thing, a lot of people say, I'd love having the wireless headphones. Well, I can give you a little bit of a heads up. The Alter 71 does have a wireless pack as well that you can just plug your headphones right into it as it's on your belt. So you can lay your metal detector down and walk off and come back. It does have the wireless capability as well. I do have it. I don't use it. Normally I'm just using the speakers out on my fields, but I will use it, especially if I'm doing a coin shoot and I don't want anyone else to hear where I'm at, because we do a coin shoot competition, me and my friends. So that's a point. It does have the wireless ability as well. So, if you want a wireless machine, this does have the wireless headsets as well. Now, we talked about, we kind of hit on it earlier, that this is a machine that sounds complicated. It sounds like a machine that might put a lot of people off listening to us talk today about it. But you hinted at this. It is a machine that you could literally open up the box, put in 6 batteries, and walk onto a field and use.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I started in that way around. We're using basic and coins for the first few months of using it. All the programs that they've put in there are well thought through and well designed already. And as you said, Eric is an engineer, so he knows what he's doing when he's putting them together, and what they're for. If you're looking for your first machine and you're okay with the price point, then you can get this, take it out of the box, start using it in one of the normal programs without any extra knowledge of the machine. And I speak to a fair few users and detectorists who don't necessarily use any of the extra features but still love the machine because it gives them all they need anyway. Yeah. I think one of the other YouTubers addicted to bleeps, Chris, he's recently got one, and I think his first hunt, he just set it up and used it in basic and went out for a hunt with it and loved it. Just in basic, nothing more.
This is a really great machine, and like I said, I picked it up and I was able to use it the first time, and then the next 4 times I was just trying to learn a little bit more and more, and it's a machine that you can completely just keep learning new things about each time you pick it up. Now, definitely. I know the big Detectival is coming up this year. It's the fall Detectival. I hear you're involved in working with RUTUS on this event?
Yes, there will be representation for what we're calling Team RUTUS UK, which will be a group of RUTUS users who will be patched up, t-shirted up, capped up, etc. And we'll be there to, the idea is that we will be brand advocates for RUTUS and also show people the machine, how they work, those sort of things, and help get the message out about what a great machine this is, because, as you said, relatively, in the scheme of things, a relatively small company from a detecting point of view, but with a great a machine that punches well above its weight. So
Oh, yeah.
getting that out is going to be one of the key things for Detectable.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to contact us to potentially be part of Team Rutus UK Detectable, if they get hold of me or Luke, then we can help them out.
Yeah, just get a hold of Luke Higgins. You can get in touch with him through me if you don't know exactly who he is. Feel free to find us on Global Detection Adventures on Facebook. That will be changing eventually, but anybody who's in there will be still in there. So you don't need to worry about joining up on a new thing, but head on over to Global Detection Adventures on Facebook, and I can get you in touch with Luke there, or just send me an email at lance@gdapod.com, and I'll get you in touch with them as well. Now, like you said, you do have a YouTube channel. It's TC Detects. Make sure you head on over and check out his channel as well. Now, I know there's something big coming down the tube. And I think we have probably the authorization to give a little bit of news out for something new. Can you let us know exactly what's coming up?
Yeah. So I will tell you what I know and what I'm allowed to say. If I go and overstep the mark, I will never be allowed in Poland again, but hey, so this is what I know. So Rutus are working on a new machine, which, given how great the 71 is, we should be definitely excited about a new machine coming from them. They're working on it as we speak. The features that I can definitely tell you it definitely includes are it will be waterproof, it will have a telescopic shaft, it will have a colour LCD screen, and feature a rechargeable battery as well. And they're hoping to have that out next year.
That is fantastic. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, that's definitely one I want to look into as well. Good features, waterproof. I know that a lot of people were asking me about the Alter 71. The coil up to the control box is water resistant, so we are able to submerge it in metal detect, but do not submerge the control box or the battery box. That is not waterproof whatsoever. Just wait a year, and then you might be getting your brand new Rutus waterproof metal detector, and that's going to be a really good one. I can't wait to see what they could possibly do better with this one.
No, me neither. And I keep annoying Wayo and asking her when it's coming, when I can see it, when I have a play, all those sort of things. Yeah, I've not seen anything, but I keep annoying her to tell me what's going on. So as we find out, we'll let you know, Lance.
I might need to get on Eric and Viola and see if I can annoy them as well. Maybe they'll give us some information. We'll just share it out once we get it then.
That's a good plan.
Well, we tried to get Eric and Viola on the show today. Unfortunately, they're on holiday. Well, not unfortunate for them, but unfortunate for us. They're on holiday and unable to join us on the show today. We will be getting Eric on the show at a future date. But I definitely wanted to tell Eric and Viola, have a happy and safe holiday while you're out and about. We truly do appreciate everything that you're doing with us. And, I think after this show, you see the true amount of love we have for your machine.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I know myself, Luke, Dave Sadler, you. I know so many people using this machine, and we keep talking about it. I got people in Australia just begging to send some down to them because they don't have it available down there right now. It's getting out there. It's just taking a while to come around. Like I said, it's a 4-person company. It's not a big company. So, you got demand, and demand over here right now is Europe is just eating these things up like crazy. All right. So where can people find you out there in the interwebs and get in touch with you if they have any questions about the Alter 71 or, you in particular?
Okay, so you can get hold of me or via the channel TC Detect on YouTube. You can also find me. I'm one of the moderators on the British UK RUTUS Facebook page, and you can message me on there, private message me or whatever you want to do. And we're in the process of setting up emails and web pages for the Team RUTUS UK event as well. So we'll have that set up soon. So be able to contact us via that nearer detectable in September.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to be out there as well. So I think you and I might be working together out there. Well, I'm not Team UK, but still.
you might be by then. Who knows?
Who knows?
We might let you in.
I'm Team UK by proxy.
Yes, exactly.
Well, okay, yeah, make sure you head on over to TC Detects on YouTube, or if you want to get in touch with them, feel free to find them through me. I am a member of the UK RUTUS group, and you can find them through me as well. So feel free, if you have any questions, to get in touch with me, or get in touch with Tony, wherever you can find them. Tony Cawood, thank you so much for coming to GDA show. This has been a true honor. Now, is there anybody you'd want to give a shout out to while you're on the air?
Well, Luke, obviously, he tends to sit in the background on these sort of things. I'm not entirely sure why. He's also got a great YouTube channel.
Oh, he does.
So check that out. He does, yeah, I love that one. And I guess all the RUTUS users that I've connected with over the last year or so, there's a great and growing bunch of users who are very passionate about what is a great machine.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to give producer Luke and producer Dave, obviously the same people. They are the brains. They are the heartbeat behind this show right now. And they deserve all the praise. And so, yeah. I'll give a shout out to Robert Hope and Richard Lincoln. Thank you for listening in, guys. And obviously to Eric and Viola out there, wherever you guys are on vacation. And that'll do it for us this week. Thank you again so much, Tony, for coming in. It's been a great pleasure talking with you. And for those of you that are still around, just stick around just a little bit more. I want to give a little bit. And like I said, thanks again, Tony. I got so many windows open, I can't find anything. But thank you again so much, and we'll be in touch later on this year.
Okay, Lance, great to speak to you.
All right, talk to you later. All right, so everybody, that was Tony. Excuse me, I should have asked him how to actually pronounce this name. Cawood. Anyway, that's Tony. Make sure you guys give him a big, huge shout out. That's TC Detects on YouTube. Yeah, great show. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and listening. This is such a wonderful thing that you guys helped me do. And like I said, to the producers, Dave and Luke, you guys are the heartbeat behind this. Make sure before time is up, if you're listening in and you have the chat window open on Spreaker, make sure you use the hashtag Alter71. That will enter you into the drawing for an Alter71 RUTUS giveaway tomorrow at 8 o'clock on April 20th. This is only for the people that are listening in live. If you are in the UK, you are eligible for this one. If you are in Europe, wait 2 weeks and we'll have another great giveaway. We'll be talking with you guys really soon. Make sure that you keep coming back and checking in with GDApod.com. And you can see exactly who's coming on to the show. On the 29th, we have a very special live show. You guys definitely need to come check this one out. You think you're going to really be enjoying this one. It's one of the biggest, 29th. We got some big people coming in, and I think you're going to be extremely happy about this one. So make sure you check it out. Until we talk to you guys again, the next live show is going to be on the 24th. We'll see who we get in for that one. Until next time, everybody, take it easy. Love y'all. We'll see you out on the field. Let's dig it up, y'all.